The beginning of chapter 2 is a recap of the events leading to Sri Krishna's espousal of life, living and dharma in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It starts with Sanjay explaining how Sri Krishna, understanding, kind and empathetic, tries to jolt Arjuna out of his state of despondency, confusion, lack of will and escapist attitude into a fighter who stands up for his point of view. After Arjuna puts down his Gandhiva bow in chapter 1, Sri Krishna in chapter 2 verse 2 and 3 says, "How did this dejection which brings you to this perilous state and makes you un-aryan-like, unfit for heaven and disgraceful? Do not become impotent. It is not fitting in you. Discard weakness of the heart. Stand up and fight." The most important lesson that Sri Krishna imparts to us is that we should stop feeling sorry for ourselves in the face of change. While feeling sorry for our situation by itself is not wrong, allowing it to impact our ability to do the right thing will compound our feeling of misery, because any solution that we seek or achieve will be suboptimal and not in keeping with our natural state or swadharma. What this means is that once we decide to go down a particular path of action, we must not vacillate and worry too much about the consequences, because the consequences will never be as anticipated by us. Also, once we worry too much about the impact of our actions on others, we will be driven to a perilous state of dejection, confusion and inaction, which will lead to self-destruction. So, Sri Krishna's main message to all of us is, once you decide on the right thing to do, back it with everything you have. Don't allow fear and despondency to stop you. Another interesting term used by Sri Krishna to exhort Arjuna is not to be un-aryan. Now, this can be interpreted in multiple ways. Arya in Sanskritam means honorable person. So, one interpretation is that Sri Krishna is asking Arjuna to uphold his own sense of honor. The interesting aspect of honor is that it really does not have an intellectual meaning. It is cognitive. It is a state of existence where an honorable person holds all creation as equal, but is ready to fight to uphold his word and to ensure balance in his environment. Another interpretation of Arya is the social understanding of who an Arya might be as a person in the society of Mahabharata. This would translate to certain capabilities such as honorable, dedicated, virtuous, strong and sincere. This means, first, Arya was a societal standard, and second, people of that period called themselves Arya because throughout Srimad Bhagavad Gita we see this word used continuously. Interestingly, in the next verse, Sri Krishna also delineates un-aryan behaviour, which are impotence in decision making, weakness of the heart and cowardliness. Hence, it is also possible that Srimad Bhagavad Gita and what Sri Krishna is talking about is the core of Kshatriya dharma. However, these words do not change Arjuna's state of misery and dejection, and he goes on to lament about the greatness of his elders Bhishma and Drona who oppose him, and how it would be better to die than to fight them. But somewhere in the fog of confusion, he recognizes that there is a gap in his understanding and cognition of dharma, and he beseeches Sri Krishna to educate him and guide him on the right course of action. There is an important learning in this. We do not know everything there is to know, and the ability to cognize our shortcomings, seek support, and the willingness to change ourselves is the starting point of managing change and acting in a manner that is congruent with our natural self or swadharma. Arjuna demonstrates this ability, and this is what makes him an excellent pupil of Sri Krishna. Yoga is the movement of the cognition from turbulence to stillness, from cacophony to silence, from sense of doership or ahankara to inertness. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. For more information, please do visit my website www.schoolofyoga.in.